Hello students, warm welcome to this session. I am Dr. K. Usharani, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Vellalar College for Women, Erode. Today we will see the topic methods of sampling. So first we have to understand the meaning of sampling. In our everyday life we have been using sampling theory. Only a part of the whole group of population will be studied in case of sampling inquiry. The results of sampling, the result obtained from the sample study can be applied to the whole universe. We can study the characteristics of population or universe from the sampling. A study of sample will give a correct idea of the universe or population. The selected respondents constitute what is technically called a sample, and the selection process is called sampling technique. The survey so conducted is known as sample survey. The researcher must prepare a sample design for his study. He must plan how a sample should be selected and of what size such a sample would be. A sample design is a definite plan for obtaining a sample from a given population. Sample design refers to the technique or the procedure the researcher would adopt in selecting items for the sample. For example, housewife tests a small quantity of rice to see whether it has been well cooked, but she will not inspect all the rice. Okay, now we shall see about the different methods of sampling. There are many methods of sampling. The choice of method will be determined by the purpose of sampling. The various methods of sampling can be mainly grouped into random sampling and non-random sampling. The random sampling may be classified into simple random sampling and restricted random sampling. Again, the restricted random sampling may be classified into stratified sampling, systematic sampling, cluster sampling, area sampling. Then the non-random sampling. The non-random sampling may be classified into three types: judgment sampling, quota sampling, convenience sampling. Okay, now we shall see about the different methods of sampling one by one. So first we shall see about the random sampling. The method of sampling that uses random selection so that all units or cases in the population have an equal probability of being chosen. A random sample is one where each item in the universe has an equal chance of known opportunity of being selected. According to Harper, the random sample is a sample selected in such a way that every item in the population has an equal chance of being included. So the random sampling, again, it may be classified into two types: simple random sampling and restricted random sampling. The simple random sampling is also called as a unrestricted random sampling. The random, in case of simple random sampling, the sample units are randomly selected. Randomly selecting units from population. Random means mathematically each unit from the sampling frame has an equal probability of being included in the sample. Sampling units can be selected without any restrictions. Then next we shall see about restricted random sampling. The restricted random sampling may be classified into four types: stratified random sampling, systematic sampling, cluster sampling, and area sampling. Now we shall see the different types of restricted random sampling one by one. Okay, first we see about the stratified sampling. When population is heterogeneous or of different segments or strata with respect to the variable or characteristics under study, then it is stratified. First, population is divided into number of subgroups or strata. Each stratum is homogeneous. The same sample is drawn from each stratum at random. So there are two types of stratified random sampling. They are proportional random sampling and non-proportional random sampling. In the proportional random sampling, equal and proportionate representation is given to each subgroups or strata. If the number of items is large in the population, the sample will be the large. Suppose if the number of items in the universe is small, then the sample size is also small. So in case of a non-proportionate sampling, equal representation is given to all the substrata regardless of their existence of the population. So these are the points regarding the stratified random sampling. Now we shall see about what are the merits and demerits of stratified random sampling. First see about merits. It is more representative because when compared to all other methods, the stratified random sampling gives more representative units because the sample units are classified on the basis of homogeneous character. So that's why it is more representative when compared to other methods. It ensures greater accuracy. It is easy to administer because the universe is subdivided into number of subgroups. So that's why administration is very easy. It reduces time and expenses. When the original population is barely arranged, this method is an appropriate method, most suitable method. For non-homogeneous population, it may yield more reliable results. Okay, these are the merits of stratified sampling. Okay, now see about what are the demerits of stratified sampling. The first one is to divide the whole population into homogeneous strata, it requires more time, money and also the labor energy. Then another demerit is if proper stratification is not done, definitely the sample will have an effect of bias. Then these are the demerits of stratified random sampling. Okay, now we shall see about systematic sampling. It is also known as quasi-random sampling. When a complete list of population is available, this method is used. We arrange the items in numerical, alphabetical, geographical or any other order. We have to use this formula for getting the sample interval. The whole population or the size of the population should be divided by the size of the sample to get a sample interval. After getting the sample interval, we can select the sample units according to the sample interval. Then this method is also having some merits and demerits. So first see about the merits of systematic sampling. It is a simple method and a convenient method. The time and work is reduced much. It can be used even in case of large populations. It is lesser costlier method of sampling when compared to other methods of sampling. Okay, now we see about the demerits. It may not represent the whole population. There is the element of personal bias of investigators. It is used when the list of population are available. Otherwise, we cannot apply this systematic sampling method. Okay, next see about cluster sampling or multi-stage sampling. It is also called sampling stages. It refers to a sampling procedure which is carried out in several stages. The whole population is divided into sampling units and these units are again divided into subunits. This process will continue when we will reach the least number. So for example, if we want to select 5,000 units from Tamil Nadu, we must select universities at the first stage, then the number of colleges at the second stage, selection of students from colleges at the third stage. So we will continue this process up to we will reach the least number. So in this way we can select sample units under a multi-stage sampling method. Okay, this method is also having some merits and demerits. Now see the merits of cluster sampling. First one, it has flexibility in the sampling method. It is helpful in large scale survey. It is valuable in underdeveloped countries where no detailed and accurate framework is not available. Then next, demerits of cluster sampling. It is less accurate when compared to other methods and it may not be representative. The next one is area sampling. The method in which an area is to be sampled is subdivided into smaller blocks that are then selected at random and then again subsampled or fully surveyed. This method is used when complete frame of reference is not available. The merits and demerits of cluster sampling are also applicable to area sampling. Okay, these are all the random sampling, different types of random sampling. Okay, now we shall see about non-random sampling. Then first we know what is meant by non-random sampling. It does not involve random selection and methods are not based on the rationale of probability theory. Okay, there are three methods of non-random sampling: judgment sampling, quota sampling and convenience sampling. Judgment sampling. First see about judgment sampling. The investigator has the power to select or reject any item in an investigation. The choice of sample items depends on the judgment of the investigator. He has a vital role to play in collecting the information. For example, if a sample of 5 students is to be selected from a BCom class of 50 students for analyzing the reading habit, the investigator would select 5 students who, according to his opinion, are the representative of the class. So in this way we can select sampling units under judgment sampling. Then now we shall see about the merits and demerits of judgment sampling. First see about the merits of judgment sampling. It is a very simple method. It is used to obtain more representative sample. It is very helpful to make public policies, decisions, etc. The executives and public officials use this method for their urgent problems. Then now see about the demerits of judgment sampling. Due to individual bias, the sample may not be a representative one. It is difficult to get a correct sampling error because the sampling units are selected on the basis of personal judgment. So we are not able to estimate the sampling errors. The estimates are not accurate. Then its results cannot be compared with other sampling studies because we are not using any scientific methods. So we are not able to compare the results of this method with other methods. So these are all the demerits of judgment sampling. Next see about quota sampling. Then this sampling is similar to stratified sampling. To collect data, universe is divided into quota according to some characteristics. Each enumerator is then told to interview a certain number of persons who are his quota. The selection of sample items depend on personal judgment. It is stratified cum purposive sampling and thus has the advantages of both the stratified method and judgment sampling method. It has some merits and demerits. So first see about merits. It saves time and money. Then the sampling will give quite reliable result. When compared to other methods, it can give reliable and accurate results. Then next see about the demerits of quota sampling. Individual bias are there because here also after classifying the sampling units into different quota, we are selecting sampling units according to our personal judgment. So there will be chances for individual bias in quota sampling. So it is not based on random sampling. So sampling error cannot be estimated. So these are the demerits of quota sampling. Okay, now we shall see about the convenient sampling or sunk sampling. The convenient sampling, in case of convenient sampling, sampling units are selected from the convenient population. A sample obtained from automobile registration, telephone directories or is a convenient sample. So these convenient sampling methods are used for pilot studies. Then now see about merits and demerits of convenient sampling. First merits, it is suitable when the universe is not clearly defined. Then the sampling unit is not clear and complete source of list is not available. We can use convenient sampling method. It is simple method and a convenient method. It does not require any expert knowledge for selecting the sampling units. So it's a very convenient method. Now we shall see about the demerits of convenient sampling. The results of this sampling cannot be representative because according to our convenience we are selecting the sampling units from the convenient source. So that sampling unit may not be representative. Then it is unsatisfactory methods. If the sampling units are not representative, we cannot give reliable result, we cannot give accurate result. So this method is not a satisfied method. The next one is next demerit is it is biased. It is one of the biased method. That's all. These are all the demerits of convenient sampling method. Then these are all the different methods of sampling. We can select any one of the method according to the purpose of sampling. Thanks for listening this session.